Hi, I want to talk today about a common case that you may encounter for your business, which is basically sending an email, and from this email, sending the people to a form where they can provide feedback and include this feedback into Notion, right? Maybe you use an email, or maybe you just have a web page, right? And from this web page, you want to have a link or button and to link to the form, right? And again, get the feedback and get this feedback into Notion. So this is what I want just to cover today, because I think that's something, quite common for a lot of people, a lot of companies or solo entrepreneurs that want to get this kind of feedback. Alright, so without further ado, let's talk about that. So first, I want to show you ConvertKit, right? ConvertKit is a great software, basically to send emails, like newsletter, to your audience. So this is what I have here. I have ConvertKit, and what I'm doing a sequence actually of email, and this is a course, right? So I'm sending a course, which is called Notion for Business 101. Actually, this is a course, for people, business starting in Notion, and, they that want to get an overview, right, of what you can do with Notion. So get a good sense, right, of what they can build, basically for their company with Notion, what kind of business case or use case, they can tackle with Notion. So this is, the purpose of this course. So here I'm in course number 2. Okay. And I'm building this email here, right? At the end of the email of the course, basically I want people to be able to give me a feedback, right? So if I go down here, you can see, I've included this button, right? And this button, you can see here, actually will link to a form in Tally, okay? And this link actually I've included the email address of the user, right? Because I'm going to send obviously this email to a specific email, and ConvertKit allow you to basically have some dynamic field that you can include within your email content. So let me show you that very quickly, right? If I'm on ConvertKit, I can just do / like this, and then I can select, various elements, right? I can include paragraph, heading, bullet point, and much more. Something, which is useful, obviously, is this personalization. So this is where I would get the email address, right? So if I select this personalization, I'm able to select some specific field, right? Like if I have that in my database, when people subscribe to my email, I can use the first name of the user, right? So I can add that to my email, right? And this will be replaced by the first name. And you can imagine that now, if I go again to this personalization, I can add as well some grading, some subscriber tax conditional. So there is more things, right? More personalizations that I can add here. But, for today, I'm just interested on this one, right? Subscriber email address. Okay. And if I add email, and you can see how it looks like, right? And what I just did, I just cut that and include that in this button. In the URL, I'm just going to add at the end of the URL. So this is a Tally URL. We will see that just after, right? But at the end of this URL, I can include this question mark email parameter equal this flag, or a subscriber email address that I just need to copy and paste and include here, right? So remember, at the end of Tally of your form email address, okay, we will see that in Tally, just include question mark email equal and this personalization field, right? Okay, so with that, basically you're able, to send the email address, right, of someone who receive this newsletter. Okay, let's have a look to that, right? Actually, we can test it, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to preview the email here. Okay, and I'm going to send a test email. Okay, so I'm going to send a test email to myself. Okay, let's do that. So this is the email. Okay, so now if I go below on this email on the button here, and if I click on this button, so you can see the email has been replaced by my own email address. Obviously, if you send this newsletter to someone from your newsletter list, right, for your subscribers, the email will be replaced by their own email address. So now let's go to Tally. All right, so now let's see my Tally form. So you can see I have various forms here in my workspace. So I'm in Tally, right? Right now, and I have this feedback Notion for business form. So let's see how this form looks like, right? So I'm going to click on Edit. Okay, in this form, I have some basic question, right? I have, people will have to select the course, provide a rating, and provide comment, question, and so on. If you have a look to this form, I can do the preview. You can see, this information here, right? So I can select and I can add my comment. Okay. So I'm going back to the editor. Now you can notice these two fields here. Okay. So this field is a hidden field. Okay. So what is a hidden field? It's basically a field that will allow you to take the information that you have in the URL. So basically this information, so this is what we want to take, right? This URL that we have here, what we want to take is the email address, right? So you can see you have this parameter email equal my email address. So this is what we want to take with this email field. And for doing that, I need to name this hidden field email, right? So this is what I've done. So if I go here, you can see this hidden field is called hidden. Okay, just to show you how to do that, you can just select hidden field here. You name it exactly the same as your parameter in the URL. Okay, and that's it. Right, with that, Tally is good, is going to take your email address, right? So I'm just going to delete this one. The problem with that is, this is like when we do the integration between Tally and Notion, this information, this hidden field will not be recognized as an email. It will be like a text field, right? For the integration. The point is, in Notion, I have an email field, right, in my database, which is a property type email. And actually, when doing this integration, Tally is looking to have something which is an email in Tally, like a format email, with and match that with something which is also an email property into Notion, right? And this is why I have not this field here. So here, this field is actually an email field. Let me remove that. So I'm going to do that here. So what I did here, I'm just doing email, right? So this is an input block. I'm selecting that, I'm inserting that, right? And now I have an email field. Now what I'm doing here, I will set the default to this information here, right? So I can have a default answer and I can select my hidden field, which means, the text that will be in this hidden field, which will be my email address, basically, will go by default to this email field, right, into the form. Okay, which is good, which is what I want. But now, because this field is pre-populated, I don't want to show it, right? I just want to get this information in the form and send that to Notion. So because I don't want to show it, look, if I click on preview, you can see now I have this field, right? And if I write something, I select a course, I do a vote, I do something, I submit, it's going to tell me, okay, it's not a valid email, right? So I need to add something which is an email here. Okay, but I don't want to see this field, right? Because I will get this information from the URL. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hide this field, right? So I can do that here. I can hide the field. So now if I go to the preview, the email feed is not visible anymore. All right. So now I should be okay, right? I have set up everything I need into Tally. So now let's move to the integration between Tally and Notion. So first, let's have a quick view of my database in Notion, right? So I'm in Notion B2B here, and you can see in my team space here, I have a section called admin, right? So this is where basically I put all my databases that I use for marketing, for sales, for whatever, right? So you can find these databases into this databases section. And if I open that, I have one that I'm going to use, which is this request database. Basically what I want to do is, every request could be a feedback, for this course, a request for a feature, everything, my idea is just to put that in one database. So, any user feedback will be centralized, right? Okay, so, and that's my database. So you can see I have different field, right, or property into this database. One is a status. So basically, if I receive a feedback, I will be able to say if, it's still open, in progress, or if it's done, right? Or, if I need to do any action, right, related to this this feedback. I have also a name, and basically here I will put the name of my form. So, like a Notion course or Notion for Business 101. So that will be my name. Here I have a form selected assets, so something that is selected, right? So because I have, user can give me feedback about what I call my asset, which are basically my templates, right? So they can tell me, okay, this is feedback about this template. In this case, regarding the course, what I'm going to do, I'm going to include the course number, right? So it will be a feedback about course number 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay, in the request, there will be the comment, the question, the feedback from the user. This field, I'm not going to use it, and I will have the rating here. And also, obviously, the email address. Well, this is the email field I was referring to before here. Okay, I have some other field, but this is more for me, right? Then I will be able to link this feedback to a specific asset, right? In this case, the asset will be this Notion for Business 101 course. So I will be able to link my course with all the feedback I've received and eventually display that, in my dashboard or in another place, right? When I'm looking to for Notion for Business 101. Okay, and this is basically it, right? There is no more. I mean, this is what I want to store. So this is my database. So now back to Tally, and we are going to do the integration between Tally and Notion. Right, so for doing that, I'm going to click on this button here, integration, okay? And I'm going to use this Notion integration. So I'm going to connect here. Okay, I already did that in the past, I believe, so this is why I already have this connection, or this Notion account, right, which is already identified here. And I'm going to name user request, so that will be my connection name. I'm going now to select a database. Okay, eventually, if you don't have yet done, the connection with your account, Tally will probably ask you to do so, right? So I don't have this step here, but that's pretty easy. Just need to follow the instruction. All right, so I'm now connected to my workspace, and I'm going to select my database, right? So my request database that we just saw before. And I'm going to, on the left side here, I'm going to select my field in Tally, right? And on the right side, I'm going to select my field in Notion. So I'm going to do this mapping now. Okay, so let's start. So I want to show you something, right? The email address. Okay, so this is the hidden field. So this is what I just selected now. And let me select again. And you can see that is expecting a text property. Okay, so if I'm opening that, I'm not able to select the email field that I have, or email property, right, that I have in my database. So that's the issue, and this is why I did this. I had to add these two fields into Tally, right? The hidden field for email and the email field, to get this hidden field content. Okay, so let's select this hidden field, which is this untitled email field. Okay, and you can see that now is expecting an email property from Notion, right? You can see here email property. So I'm going to do that, and there is only one, which is email in my database. Remember, so if I go to Notion, okay, this is my email property here. Okay, so let's go back here. and I'm going to carry on like this. So now I'm going to use the Ford name, and I will that as the name. Okay, with another property, I'm going to use the course. Okay, and you see it's a Dropbox. No, sorry, it's a drop down, right? This course. So here is expecting as well a drop down, right? So and this is the 3 fields that are drop down. Okay, so I'm going to select this one, right? This is a form selected asset. We saw that before. All right, I carry on. Now I'm going to add the comment. Okay, and I'm going to add that to request field. And finally, I'm going to add the rating and add that to the rating. You can see again, the rating is a numeric field on Tally, so it's expecting again a numeric field, right? And this is why when I have added this rating here, you know, I have selected a number, right? A number field. Okay, so you need to match, right, the format of each feed, Tally's feed and Notion feed. Okay, let me go back here. Okay, so with that, I'm good. I think I have everything, and I just need to click on Connect with Notion. And you can see now I have my connections that appear here. So with that, I should be good. So now we can test. Let's see if it's going to work. To test it, I'm going to go back to this link, you know, that I had before. And I'm just going to click on it. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going correctly to the course. I'm going to select course number 2, 5-star, obviously. And then, please could you let me know how to create a team space. All right, and I'm going to submit. Let's go to Notion. Okay, and you can see now, so I had some test data that I did just before here. I can just remove that, but you can see I have my new entry now, right? So I have the name, so this is my feedback, Notion for Business, so that was my title, and I have my course number 2, good. I have my request, and I have my rating, and finally, I have this famous hidden field, the email address in the database. Okay, and created time is just, you know, timestamp for when the record has been created. And with that, you know, I can eventually link that to my Notion for Business 101 course. And, you know, when I will go here, I will be able to see all the comments related to this specific asset or course. All right, so I hope it was useful. You know, that's a pretty simple integration, but I think, you know, that's something useful that a lot of us are using in our website, in our newsletter, and so on. So I don't know if you think it was useful for you, or just want to see or support the channel basically and see new video in the future. Don't forget to subscribe, you know, click the ring, and I see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.